Undergrunt.
You any good with that shotgun?
Not that I have to be at this range, but I'm a fucking sergeant with the shotgun.
Well, guess what, bitch? I'm better than Annie Oakley, and I've got you right in my sights!
In a small little ship in the center of Mars was a sack of souls with experiment scars. When the psychedelic monk said, "I'll take two," and he put them in a rocket and he ate a lot of glue. And he shot them straight to Earth when they turned into babies. They were named on that, and they rarely got rabies. And the monk made a movie of their whole entire lives. They were panoramic scenes and zooms of the thighs. One time Bob had sex with a ladle, and one time Matt lost a bet to a cradle, and another time Bob caught a dinosaur mom, and another time Matt bought a replica of Guam. And all this and more is on a DVD set, only $20.99 with the purchase of a gym. But if you call right now and say, "Where's my whisk?" we'll include this bonus disc.
I'm your host, Bob Rose. With me is another host, Matt PA. And with us is official friend of the show, Shawn Jones.
Welcome back, me.
And we're here late at night in the bonus disc dungeon or whatever the hell it was when we first started. We all chose a movie we hadn't watched for the first time when Shawn was here.
I wanted to watch something fresh tonight.
You did bring a bunch of choices. I want to give you credit there. So, but we
Singergon or
Singenor.
could be a future choice, not out of the
Coming
question.
next year.
Also, I think it was Singenor, Highlander 2, or Shotgun.
Yes.
Shotgun, a PM Entertainment movie from 1989, and we chose Shotgun.
It seemed the best choice.
Obviously was the best
It
choice.
was.
It was a great
For
choice.
a blind choice, we did well.
Right, and it's a shot on tape.
I don't even know if it was shot on tape.
Or
I think it was
transferred
edited on
to tape.
and it just looks shot on video.
It looks shot on
because
video.
you could see like short ends through the whole film. Like I don't think they digitally added the short ends. They weren't quite to that
No.
point of pretentiousness at that point.
It just looks like a shot on video movie, though,
It does,
regardless of what it is.
It looks like basic cable Skinamax at 2 a.m.
There is that one edit or transition where it felt like a TV show. That one, like the way,
yeah,
just
the
because
fade.
it faded it out, and I was like, oh no, that's
it
bad.
fades out to like commercial breaks
Yeah.
and stuff,
You're like,
which
"Aw."
we're
They're
not
like,
going
we
to
know-
talk about. But
We know this is going to be on USA Up All Night. We might as well just put them in there.
oh god, it was just perfectly commercial breaks. But
Yeah.
I want to say before we start, it stars this guy named Riff Hutton,
Mm-hmm.
who was in another bonus disc movie that I didn't realize until I looked on IMDb. He played the dad from The Encounter Paradise Lost, which was a Pure Flix movie we did.
Oh, Pure Flix.
It's a pure. He's also in.
He's still working.
He's still working. He's the only named person in this movie.
Right.
But he has 154 credits, and he's in a lot of Pure Flix stuff. He's in that movie Brother White.
Oh.
Oh
no.
boy, yeah.
We should watch that sometime.
But yeah, so this has some connections to some bonus disc history, at least there.
Yeah.
PM Entertainment, Pure Flix.
Pure Flix. So
This
like
is the perfect storm.
it's
Tick the boxes.
yeah, right. It's all there. All right. Shotgun. How does it begin?
I think the opening scene is the village, right? Where they're taking over the village.
It's the helicopter flying. to the
It's
village,
a
I
helicopter
think,
flying to
yeah.
the yeah, I guess. I forgot it even happened by the time the movie was over, but yes.
Yeah,
I forgot that there was a
opening
preface.
credits just black and white, right?
They may have been, yeah.
Possibly. I don't remember.
The opening credits were just text, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And nothing interesting.
Yeah.
And the PM Entertainment, they didn't have their fancy logo yet. It
was
just
Film
black
Rise.
on,
It's
black
like
and white.
Rise, then PM Entertainment, kind of just black.
Oh,
white.
and the song, right?
Oh, yeah.
Does the song come in at the
I don't
beginning?
think the song starts yet.
Are we? I'm just thinking of the trailer.
Maybe that starts like after. Maybe the opening credits are after that first scene.
Yeah, I guess it's a cold open of a helicopter like landing in
Yeah,
like
you're
a
right.
Mexican village, I guess. And this like blonde, I don't know, he looks like John Tesh, I guess.
Yeah.
He's coiffed. Yeah, he's like
It looks
coiffed
like
and-
he's gonna do a deal with the guy to buy the village. And
right.
He's
well,
gonna,
I don't know what the hell they were doing first. He put the thing on the counter. The guy took it, looked at it, was like, money. This is cool. I give you a briefcase. He didn't even look in it. Like,
Right.
what was he doing?
That was a terrible business deal.
It was just something happened. I don't
Wait,
think we
you're-
ever see the guy from the village again, do we?
No, he
Didn't
gets
he get
fucking
shot?
Yeah, he gets shot. The tooth guy.
Yeah, because
Right.
the bad guy, what's his name? Fletcher Rivington.
Right.
Is like, I want to buy your town. He goes, you gringos are all the same. You can't buy us. Fuck you. And he goes, no, well, fuck you. And then
Just
they
kills
just
them all.
They
blast
just blast them all
everybody
to hell.
in the
They shotgun him to hell.
Right.
They shotgun him to hell.
And then this is the scene that establishes
We're gonna
bartenders
constantly
getting shot.
mention shotguns.
I guess,
Dude, like 80% of them are not in the hands of the main character.
No.
It's
Right.
bullshit.
Right. No.
But whatever. Okay.
of Shotgun Jones.
Yeah.
Right. So
They blast them.
They blast
away.
them. Now they
get
control.
on the oh, dude, them escaping on the helicopter is so awesome.
Oh,
Pretty
yeah,
sure
yeah.
somebody almost died.
Or
Yeah.
did die.
Because there's a guy hanging from a helicopter, and I'm almost positive there's no harness.
No harness. Absolutely.
And they had to
no
be like
harness.
200 feet in the air.
Maybe.
And then you can see the helicopter
looks
go
scary.
up, and it goes around and dips down
Well, that
into
one
the.
guy gets shot and falls out
He
of the
falls out
helicopter.
of it, but the other guy's hanging on.
yeah, they never.
And the
let him-
helicopter goes. It goes
Just-
like
they just fly
into
away
the
with them.
woods.
Yeah, like down into the woods. It looks
Yeah.
so strange.
Probably because that guy was about to fall.
Yeah.
we
To the
gotta land
ground.
this immediately because Tim
dying.
is tired.
Tim's dying. He has no upper body strength.
We
He's
only
like-
get one take.
He keeps trying. He's like struggling to get his leg up. Yeah,
And
it's
the-
pretty funny. That
Yeah, the
guy
whole
could've
movie's
died.
a wide shot and an insert.
Yep,
It's
right.
like for whoever's talking, and that's
Except
it.
for one of my favorite scenes of the movie.
Well, we'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get there. So then we go back. Then we cut to the city. And we's
Right,
showing
right.
us
We hear
shots.
the
It's
Shotgun
a
Jones,
theme song.
It's like a porno theater,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
Shotgun Jones. Well, he's not Shotgun Jones.
He's not,
Right
he's
now,
just-
he's just
Really,
Ian
he's
Jones.
never a Shotgun Jones.
no, he's
But-
like for 1 second he's
Right.
Shotgun Jones at the end, but that's it.
It's
So-
like the first Exterminator film, you know.
Right.
He doesn't use the flamethrower.
He's
until the very
barely.
end.
Yeah,
So the main guy, Ian Jones, and his partner Max Bellings, something like that.
I have it open
I
on
think
my
it's Max
phone.
Bellings.
Yeah.
They're walking out of a porno theater. They're cops. They walk out of a porno theater, immediately start flirting with hookers.
Max Billings, you're right.
They all the hookers are like, y'all trying to fuck? And they're like,
Not
we'd
tonight.
love to, but not tonight.
And he's like,
Sorry."
"Oh man, sometimes it sucks to be a cop." And you think
Right.
what he means is we can't fuck hookers. But then he says that line after it. He's like always trying to be just and doing. Remember, he just keeps going on a rant about how being a cop sucks because you got to be just and you got to do the right thing. And it's
And
like,
you
wait, you
can't
meant
fuck
you didn't mean
hookers.
fucking hookers because that's what you just said when the one. Eh.
And also, there
They
are
also
two
never-
cops that just came out of a 2-hour porno. So
on duty,
Deep
apparently.
Throat 2 and something
Right.
else. What was
Hot
it?
guns.
Hot guns and yeah,
Deep Throat 2.
Deep Throat 2.
Dude, these are the worst cops. I swear to God. They don't arrest anyone.
right. Their
In the
next
whole fucking
conversation
movie,
No,
all
they
they do
don't.
are
is
like,
they watch their favorite hooker get picked up
Yeah.
by a John. They're just like, oh, hope she has
No,
good
they're
looks tonight.
They're sitting in back
they
of the car.
fantasize about her making a bunch of money fucking this guy, and then that we won't be able to see her because she'll be on
Right,
vacation.
right.
Well, he's-
because of
he-
the money she made.
Max Billings is reading a book, barely listening to him describe that Janice just got picked up.
Rhonda.
Rhonda just got picked up.
But he
Right.
does mention that, like, he could take Rhonda.
And you can have my
and
wife.
You can have my wife.
Because apparently his wife.
It's a running
fantasizes
gag.
about it.
About
about-
He's
Max's
totally
wife.
cool. Totally cool with it.
Oh,
He's
he's
like,
Yeah.
swingers, man.
I
you
guess,
know?
I
Yeah.
guess.
Max wants his wife to have sex with Jones. To be
so
clear.
he can fuck
Yes.
a hooker.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, Rhonda gets
So they
picked up.
watch. They are right there. They watch. They see the car.
The
that
whole
picks her up.
movie would be invalidated if they did,
If they
their,
did their
job.
job, right.
Yeah,
now.
they did the
Yeah.
job right now. They see the car. They see the person driving the
They're
car.
behind it. They're
It's
looking
a
at the license
fucking
plate.
convertible with the top down.
Yes.
Like
Right.
they have a very good shot of the person that picked her up. And they're just sitting there fucking jabbering, jawing about fucking each other's wives and
Wives.
shit. And you're like,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
that guy takes that prostitute to a
Rhonda.
to
She
a
takes her to the hotel. They talk. There's the front desk guy
Right.
who we're not sure if that was Joseph Mihai.
It may be the producer. It may not be.
He's
Oh, I forgot
directed
to look during the
several
credits.
movies.
I forgot to look during the credits.
Yeah, I forgot. But he's like, they pay for the room, and he goes, and that's an extra $1 for the skin. And he throws the condom down.
He's
He's
like,
like,
I'm
I'm
not
not
gonna
going to need it. And then she's like,
she's like, if you don't have a condom, you don't have me. And he's like, all right, fine, give me the
fine.
condom.
So they go to the room.
He also didn't ask for the $1 back either. Weird.
No,
Right.
it doesn't matter. He doesn't care. They're
I-
rich.
I-
They own a village.
Dude, what they're about to do, I was joking.
Yeah,
That'd be
I know.
hilarious if he was like, well, give me
And
the
they don't-
$1 then.
They don't really set it up very well, so it looks like that the guy who picked her up walks out for a split second.
Because he's like, wait here, and he walks out, and we're
And
like,
it
we don't
shows
know
her
what
start
happens.
taking
Right.
your clothes off.
And then all of a sudden, the
the
a
gimp
guy-
from Pulp Fiction comes out.
the kid from Pulp Fiction with Ted Cruz's lips.
He does look like
Dude, his lips is so creepy.
They're so sharp and glistening, wet. He's all wet.
He comes out with a bullwhip in a full S&M gear outfit,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Who? What?"
nice outfit.
Yeah, and he's like, she's like, "Do you want lips or hips?" And he's like,
Yeah.
"I think I'll take lips." And she goes to like he's covering his crotch this entire time, and when she moves his hands away, it's just like
Studded.
plated
It's a
steel.
yeah, it's
dude.
plated
like,
steel, right?
It's just like ribbed plated steel. It looks insane, and she goes ooh and starts like kissing it. He punches her in the fucking mouth,
She's like, oh, that's gonna cost extra.
and he goes, "Well, then this is gonna be expensive
Expensive
as
as
shit."
shit.
And he just he just beats the fuck out of her.
And he just, her head would be nothing after what he did to her.
Yeah.
We don't see it. We just see it from a
Yeah, yeah.
POV shot.
He's huge
but
too. He's got to be
The
like
fact
6.5
that that's
feet
the girl
tall.
that didn't die,
Yes. Like, what did he do to the person
Yeah.
later?
Good lord.
and like when they find her on the bed, she's like got her eyes open.
I
And
thought
not
she
moving.
was
Yeah,
dead. So
right.
like it shows him like beat the hell out of her, and then it's like the guy leaves through the front door, and he goes, "I told you I didn't need that condom."
Right, he gives it back to
He
condom.
gives it back,
Yeah.
and then that guy goes up to the room and finds her all fucked up, and then that's when the police show up.
Right.
Did we miss
To
something?
the now, it's important to note that there's
Okay.
It's important to note that they're showing up at this place
Right.
because this
At
place
this
isn't
hotel-
just
the hotel
it's not just
something,
some
I forget.
hotel.
Yeah,
We're
it's
gonna
the
learn. I-
same-
hotel.
It's same fucking
the only
hotel.
hotel in
They're
LA.
so bad at their job. They're so bad at their job.
Good lord. Okay,
So
that's
they-
right.
so
Because
they're
that's
standing
when
outside-
They're in their car, and they get it over the radio that there's been like a something. It's
Oh,
like
a
a
basher.
code.
They call
And
it a
they
basher.
Well, no,
carry
yeah,
her
they're
out.
just like
You know, she's
they get a
covered
code.
when they
they're like,
carry
"We're
her out.
covered."
I
Yeah.
have a feeling that like they wrote her out as dead, but later in the film they're like, "Holy shit, we need some continuity here," and then brought her back.
You think so?
And because the only other time you see her is the
Is the
interrogation scene.
Yeah, we haven't got there.
and
but
she's got no scars. Like 2 days later.
they wanted
But
something.
nobody-
or they
never
didn't.
say
They wanted
murder.
that his sister's the only one that's killed.
Right.
Or something like that. Well, so they go there and they have this weird scene where they're standing out by the ambulance.
Oh
and
my god.
Jones is facing away from the camera, looking out into the
Right.
sky.
It's almost like they lost the B camera. All the
Yes,
footage of the
it's
B camera.
awesome. I
No,
love
this
it.
is the only scene in the movie where they had two cameras. They filmed one shot with two cameras in the scene because
Yeah.
if you look, every time it cuts, it's like perfect, except Jones just talks away from the one camera the whole
Yeah.
fucking time. It's awesome.
He's like staring off wistfully into the sky.
But you never see his
'Cause
face
they're
in
talking-
either
yeah.
angle, so his voice is all muffled because the camera. It's so.
Because
and
this
the
is where they
microphone's all back
basically
there.
have their stance on like hookers, right?
Right.
Where he's like,
And
just
then
because
he
she's a
brings
hooker
up-
doesn't mean she ain't a human.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Because
And you
and
know
that's-
better than most. Why? You know.
why?
Right, why
You don't
could
need
he?
to tell me that.
Right.
Cause I'm Jones. I'm Ian Jones. His like growly voice was hysterical.
Oh, so
Oh.
like, he does not sound threatening at
no,
all.
he puts this growl in his voice, but he just looks ridiculous.
I would
It's
love
this
to know what
big
they told
redheaded
this guy
beard
to
And,
do.
and we'll get to it only topped by his drunk voice.
Yes.
Oh my god.
His drunk voice. So he goes. So
But
he-
they're outside, and he goes. So we saw the guy. We saw Ronnie get picked
we
up.
saw everything. Why did we do anything?
Why-
Like they could go right to the sketch artist, get the guy.
No,
like none of
nothing.
that. Like you're
Nothing.
What the hell are you having this like comedy? You sons
Also,
of
like
bitches.
I hate to
It's
say it,
just
but
crazy.
did they even get fingerprints from the crime scene or anything?
Probably not.
I mean, was he
Well, they-
wearing gloves? I don't think he was.
No.
he
He
wasn't.
just had like bracers on.
yeah, he was not.
Dude, their DNA was all over that
They,
fucking room
uh,
because we know what. It'd be all over her face
It
if he
would
was
be
bare
every-
knuckle punching her in the
Yes.
head until she was unconscious.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, the worst cop.
And they talk about how he's the best.
He's
the
the
whole film.
Yeah, for what?
He's terrible.
What is the best
Terrible
of?
cop.
Yeah. So they have this wistful conversation, and then that ends, and
Right.
Jones goes home, right?
Yes,
He's asleep, and then a woman comes in and like she tries to take the gun
Out of this holster.
out of the holster, and he like quickly grabs it, and then goes, "Oh, you're home?"
And the woman's like, yeah, don't worry about it. Just go back to sleep. And
He's
she
like, "You've
takes
been
the
working
gun.
all night."
Yeah. He's like, you don't have to be the big brother. That's like where they establish that it's his sister.
Yeah.
They don't really.
No, I
they're
don't
kind
think
of.
they did
No,
right
they didn't right
there,
then. It was
because
later.
he just
Because we didn't
goes-
know that it wasn't his wife for a second. We were still guessing at that point.
Yeah,
There's
because
a,
all
We
he
didn't know that
says
it was
is-
his wife when they were outside, but when
No. Here's the first time we meet her. Because remember we were
the first time we meet her is when she says, don't do that big brother stuff with me.
No, that's
No,
not.
that's
I'm
later.
standing by that.
that's
No.
later. That's later.
It's later
That's
because
later.
in this scene she
Yeah.
kisses him on the forehead and he goes, "How many was it tonight?" And she just goes, "Look, we're not having this conversation or something." There's no, they barely said anything to each other the first time.
Oh, wait. Do you mean
Which
the
is
shot where
hysterical
she's standing
because-
next to the bookcase and she says, "Don't do that big brother stuff"? To
Yeah,
me?
something like that.
Where it's two shots. The shot next to him sleeping, and then she gets up, and it's a second shot where she says that.
It's that scene where
It's that
I don't
scene.
think so, man.
because we were talking about it in the outdoor awkward like not a two-shot shot. We're like, oh, I wonder if that's like his wife or his sister
his wife
he's
is a
talking
hooker.
about.
Yeah.
And then
But
they
we hadn't
established
even
right
been
away like
introduced to her yet.
we hadn't. He just like talked about it because he's just
He
like
said it.
It's
when
a-
he
okay,
said
okay.
when he said oh, I know you know better than most.
No,
you know,
the
and he
big
freaked
brother
out.
shit. The big brother part is when he confronts her in the club.
Actually, that might be right.
She
Yeah.
said that again there, but she
all right.
established
It doesn't
that she
even
was
really
his
matter.
Fine, if I
It
missed
doesn't.
It doesn't matter.
It
If I
doesn't
missed
really
it the
matter.
This
first
is
time.
shooter. Shotgun. Whatever the fuck it's called.
Hand pistol.
Hand
Hand
pistol.
pistol.
I don't know.
Thick hand
Super
pistol.
soaker.
Lots of tiny bullets at once. So yeah, okay. So he has this sister who's a hooker.
Yes.
Sure, fine. What happens right after that? Because that's where I was trying to think.
I think at this point, are we introduced to
We go back,
lawyer time,
or we go back to the police station. Oh no, yeah, we know. We're introduced to the lawyer. We see him walk in to his like secretary, and it's Revington. It's
Right.
Yeah.
Fletcher Revington, or whatever the hell his
Yeah.
name was. Yeah. And he says, don't take my calls. I got an important case or important visitor, and it's Rocker.
His name's Rocker.
It's Rocker.
She's like,
and he's the
"Rocker's
guy
in
from the
your
beginning
office."
that was with him.
that picked up the hooker.
Right. His name is Rocker and Fletcher Rivington.
And whenever Rocker comes into the scene, you hear a nice old.
Oh man, the soundtrack is great.
It's indescribable. You have to hear
Yeah.
it.
yeah.
It's not- yeah. And so in this scene, they talk about, or
They talk about the village.
they talk about the village,
and
right?
setting up the village.
And setting up
Yeah,
the village,
he's
right, yeah.
he's just telling him like we got to.
Which is weird because I felt like the other stuff that the movie's mainly about didn't come into play with the two of them, right? Like we don't hear them talk about the hooker thing.
They don't talk anything about
That
the
just
hood.
comes
scene
out
And they
of-
don't talk about the village again until the very end of the movie.
Right,
you
that's what
know?
I'm saying. But they don't talk about like, so see you tonight when you get me a hooker to beat to death.
Right.
no.
Right? They don't say that.
It's
I'm
just
almost
implied.
positive. It's just implied that they do this on the side,
Right.
buying villages in Mexico. What?
And
You know what I
taking
mean?
Over villages in
Yeah, it's
Mexico
such a big
by
thing.
force.
Yeah, it's okay, sure. I guess.
And I guess is the next scene the already? No, it can't be.
I think we go to the police headquarters,
yeah,
right? Yeah. Paulus.
Dude, it's so hard to remember how this movie went because they do nothing for the first
Oh,
hour.
they did. The first hour is nothing.
Well, I think
They're
I
not
think
doing anything.
they go back to the police station. And
This is
there's
the
not
first time we
really-
see their desks and shit.
Right. It's not much of anything. You're just,
Oh, we gotta address Jones dresses like an asshole the entire time.
Oh,
The
sure.
entire
Every
time.
scene.
Every
Yes.
single, and they're different costumes.
Yeah, every scene he's dressed differently, and every time you are like, "Do you look like a fucking
Well,
asshole?"
when he's a cop,
it's
he's
great.
got the Indiana Jones hat because
No, he kind of looks
Shotgun Jones.
he looks like a nerd you'd see at a convention that wants to be Indiana Jones.
right.
Like a fedora wearing geek that's like, I'm Indiana Jones, ma'am, milady. That's what he kind of looks like. Yeah, and Billings is just
Dude,
he's
he has
dressed like a
the-
cop.
He's just a cop.
He's just a cop. Yeah.
He looks like a normal human being.
That guy was kind of lost in a movie that
Right.
he didn't care and he,
He
was
was just
way
there
below.
for the ride.
Right.
He hadn't
Yeah.
found Jesus yet.
He hadn't. Yeah, he turned to Pure Flicks. He gave up PM for Pure
I was gonna
Flicks.
say PM Entertainment will do that to anybody.
He found Christ. What happens in that first time we see the police station, though?
I don't think much. I mean, I just think they
That's
just
the
talk
first
about
time we meet the Sims guy.
right.
Sims, who's
the
the
internal
affairs,
person
right,
who's,
right.
like, for some reason, all over Jones's ass all the time.
right,
I think they just talk about cracking down on the pimps. Just letting them know. Don't let
right.
this dude kick your
Continue to whatever.
girls. Right. Because the scene after that is Rocker trying to pick up a girl, and the other hooker tells him.
Well,
not to.
because we go to the nightclub.
Right.
We go
Oh
to the
my God, the
shitty
nightclub.
fucking nightclub with the mumbling
He was
DJ.
just like,
Well, no, first
Oh,
what
all
he's
you
saying
people look
happens.
so
You
good.
see-
Oh, yeah.
You see, what's the fuck is? Oh, Rocker try to pick up a prostitute. He's getting it done, and then another one runs up and goes, "Not him. He's
right.
He's on the
he
blacklist.
just
He's on the
he
blacklist,
just
right.
wants he
He's a
doesn't want to
basher.
fuck you,
He's a-
baby.
yeah,
he
they
just
call him
wants
a
to bash you
basher.
up. Yeah.
He's
That's-
a real kinko.
Kinko, right.
And he's like, "Go." And that's my favorite scene in the movie. Honestly, is sad S&M guy on a couch, like
Oh my
because
god,
he
That
doesn't get
happens
a
a-
woman.
Yeah,
I thought it happens.
he
right
like goes
here.
in and says, "I'm sorry, boss. I couldn't get anybody for you." It's just like
he's just sitting
starts crying. It was like it reminded me of
Like the Incredible Hulk music
no,
of him
no.
walking away.
It reminded me of the scene in Return of the Jedi when the one guard is comforting the other guard after they kill the Rancor.
Yes. It's just because it's like kind of a faraway shot, and he's on the bed with his head in
Yeah.
his
It's
hands.
just so funny. It's like,
And he like puts the whip behind his
Yeah.
head. Starts
Not
pulling.
tonight, not tonight. Yeah, right. So yeah, then it's the club scene the next day.
Sure.
I think.
Yeah.
well, Billings is like, "Let's get hey, we're off the clock. Let's get out of here." And he's like, "I'm gonna work overtime." And he's like, "What the fuck does that mean?" And
I thought he didn't start working overtime until after his sister got killed.
I think so. Yeah.
His spoiler, his sister's
Yeah.
gonna get
Over.
killed.
Yeah.
jeez,
Let's just
jeez.
yeah, I know.
Yes.
Listeners are like, fuck!
Oh, but
I was watching Scene by Scene, you motherfuckers!
Yeah. God damn it. Something happens before he goes
Something
in the club.
does,
I
but I
forget
couldn't
what
tell
it
you
is.
what the fuck
I think
it
we go
was.
back to the headquarters and we meet the chief for the first time.
That might be.
The chief guy.
Yeah.
Remember the chief?
The Aldo Ray looking motherfucker.
Yeah. He does.
it's
say
the
that.
chief and Sims. Something happens with all of them.
They just established that he is the chief and he's like kind of on their side a little bit.
He's the lieutenant. They call him lieutenant.
Yeah, right.
He's just a lieutenant. And
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. But then we cut to the nightclub,
my God.
and there's the DJ who's like a mush mouth, just saying like,
Oh my God. He's
"Walk
on
over here, yeah, you looking good."
And it's like
yeah,
he's
you
playing
doing it."
records. He's just like
rubbing
records.
And there's a bunch of like yuppie white people.
It looks
Dancing
like the
their
dance
asses
scene
off.
from Back to the Future.
if it was in a shitty nightclub,
Right.
He's
right.
the best DJ
Shot
I've
on
ever
video
seen in a
too.
movie, though.
The shot on video aspect makes it all so much better. It really does. Because there's people, and it's people just like dancing, like they're like background extras. It's great. So they fight. They kind of push their way through the sparse crowd,
Right.
and up on the second level, that's where Rocker is like talking to his sister, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's convinced. He's talking to her about going somewhere private.
Yeah, he says, "Let's take this party to
He's like, "I
somewhere
like the
private."
party in private, if you know what I mean." And
Right.
she's like, "I think I do."
Yeah.
Right.
And they're getting up, and then Jones walks up and is like, "Stop being a prostitute. We gotta talk." And she's like, "I'm
not
being
She
a
having
says,
it.
"Don't do that
prostitute."
Big Brother
She's
shit
not
with
having
me."
Yeah, she's like, "No,
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm a prostitute, and this is what I'm doing. So I'm gonna leave this man." And he's kind of like, because he shoved a badge in his face.
Yes.
And let's just remember that like
In Rocker's
they
face.
saw this guy up close picking up
They
the
saw him
Peabody
in his car.
Oh my God,
prostitute
you're right, sorry.
that got hurt.
Yes. Yes.
So
Unreal. He's now looking at this guy again, picking up his sister, who is also a prostitute. He can arrest all of them.
I know.
He can just arrest all of them and be like, bitch, listen to me. I told you not to be a hooker. I tried to not arrest you for a long time, and I'm done with it.
I know what we forgot,
It's
and
unreal.
it's something
Okay.
good, and it's something important.
Okay.
The porn shop.
Yes. Okay. We forgot the porn shop.
Because that's how they find out that it's a rich guy chasing.
That's okay. It's still kind of viable, but they go to a porn store that has nothing but Chuck Norris movies and porn
right.
Oh, yeah.
next to each other. That's all that they have. And then there's the sleaziest, like 8mm Aqueen Phoenix guy working at, seriously, he's
Billings is like
he's
eating
wearing
a
a vest.
banana.
He's
He's
eating a banana in
walking
a
He
porn store.
He like puts it out like a cigar.
on the table.
And this fucking guy is wearing a vest with no shirt working at a porn
leather
store.
vest.
And he's
with
all
no shirt.
greasy with his hair and everything.
His teeth look weird too.
Yeah, his
but-
teeth look all rotted
Meth
and
mouth,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he puts the bananas peel down on the table, and the guy's like, "Hey, what is going on? I'm good. Like,
Yeah, I'm
you
not
got-
doing nothing.
Yeah, I'm not doing nothing. You shouldn't be talking to me."
And then
He's
Jones
like,
goes,
I heard you were still dealing in child pornography, and then he takes off immediately.
Well, he tries to
He picks
grab
up the
the
tape.
tape that's on
On
the
the
counter
counter.
right there.
he left child pornography
Just
on the
sitting
counter.
out.
Come on.
And he tries to run away, and Jones is back there with a gun in his face.
Yeah.
And brings him back out, and he's like, "I think our friend here is gonna blah blah blah."
We'll take
Right,
you in.
right.
He's like,
They
we
kinda-
heard,
Dude,
we're
that
looking
guy's
for
dialogue is a nightmare.
Yeah, it's
Him
awful.
delivering it, whoever wrote it, a lot of it does. Some of it doesn't even make sense.
No, that guy looks like he was cast the day before it started shooting.
You're
and
the
no one
tallest
told him.
person that came in.
Yeah,
He's
you're a tall
probably
white. we need a Mel Gibson
probably
looking
one of the
motherfucker.
grips.
Yeah. So he says we're looking for the guy who bashed up Rhonda,
Right.
right? And then he tells
He's like, "We're looking for sick fucks that beat women,
Yeah.
or whatever." And he's like, "Well, I mean, there was a guy who came in and bought." Like, and then he just describes the outfit that we just saw.
Right.
He says
Fletcher
something about his
Rivington
nice
in it.
clothes being so nice, like his
He was-
clothes are.
yeah, he was
Right,
wearing
right.
real fancy digs.
But
Had
he's just
lots
wearing a
of money.
suit. It wasn't like anything that
No, no,
fancy.
no.
And then they decide to let him go with his. And he's like,
They're just
burn
like,
the porn.
Yeah,
he
burn
gives
this
it back
porn.
to them.
Yeah,
They
here we
hand
go.
it back for
Greatest.
kitty porn.
And again, they're
Worst
the worst
cops.
cops. Worst cops.
Here's that kitty porn bag. Now I'm going to trust you to burn it after I walk out of here.
Okay, officer.
Jesus
Lord.
Christ.
Because they
That
basically
conversation, how many people in the store do you think heard them? And now we're just like,
Right.
"Oh, I can get kitty
Oh
porn
wow,
now."
this establishment sells kitty porn.
Great.
Wonderful.
They're the worst cops. They're the worst at everything. They
Terrible.
arrest no one.
terrible.
They're
Yeah.
arresting no one. It's insane. We'll get to the person they do end up arresting, which is hysterical. God damn it. So
It's so good.
they're the worst cops. So what happens next?
Well, that's when we're back. Now we're
Okay,
back
now
to
we're back
the
at the
nightclub.
club.
We're back at the nightclub.
And he's
'cause-
like, "You can't do this," and she's like, "You can't tell me what the fuck to do."
right.
And she leaves with Rocker, and we're like, "God,
No,
And so
I
we're-
guess they're gonna kill the sister.
And
now.
so
There
where,
goes the
where are we?
sister.
We're back at the same hotel again.
Same
it's
room.
his same fucking
Fucking hope.
room.
Like,
That was a crime
Same
scene.
scene.
Shouldn't it have been?
wouldn't the guy at the front have told the cops that something
was
happened?
Yeah,
Because he didn't seem happy about what
No,
he
he
saw in
didn't.
the
He wasn't
room.
like with them.
he wasn't in on it.
No, he wasn't. So like,
Which,
why?
It makes no
It's
sense.
insane that their plan was to do it in the same hotel room every time. Like it's
It's the same.
it's a hotel room. You can get other ones.
Yeah.
Other
You
places.
could afford it.
His fetish had to be that I have to beat women
in
in this room or else.
Why?
Wait.
Why? He's also British. If you haven't, I don't think we've managed.
Oh yeah, Rivington is
mention that.
British. So
Yeah.
so yeah, he
What the
goes
fuck,
away
man?
and then Rivington comes out in his Ted Cruz gear.
And she's like, "Who the fuck are you?" And he just fucking just. Oh no, she's got her back turned and he wails the whip on a
Oh, yeah,
table.
Yeah,
And she's like, "Who the fuck are you?" And he just starts beating the shit out
yeah,
of
he
her.
just whips her and then
There's like
starts
no
beating her.
preamble. There's
Right.
just
No
it's
small
just-
talk, just
yeah,
right to
there's
the beat.
no like build
beat
up.
you to death with a whip, apparently.
Yeah, right. And
Oh, we missed that. We skipped that.
the woman they see,
Yeah, we skipped the woman Sherry or whatever.
they do. Yeah, they go to
They go to find a woman who also got another
Oh,
prostitute.
which is
Right,
more angry
right.
because of what we just said. Because
Yeah.
she was whipped to the
Dude.
point of being in the ICU, in the same room that these other women were.
Right.
So like, couldn't she just go?
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
actually,
shit.
could-
So
when
that
they-
happened in the same room.
Like,
Just
God,
stand in that fucking room. Just stand
Right.
outside the
Right.
hotel. Jesus.
And that's what it was. I bet.
I didn't even think about
And
it.
she's still
It's-
like,
it's just
They,
so
none of them have died yet, and they could all just be like, "Yeah, is that room? Like, get them in the same room." Which the fuck is going on? It's so good.
They're terrible at their job too. It's so good.
and I bet you that's what it is. Later in the interrogation, they either didn't want to redo her makeup or she didn't want to come back and do
Yeah,
another scene.
right.
So
Oh,
they're
yeah.
just
Well,
like,
she's like got these
swap
comically
characters.
big,
Well,
perfect grill mark,
she looks like, yeah.
whip
but
scars.
they're all in the same direction. Like it's a giant
like Freddy.
monster. Yeah,
Yeah, it looks like Freddy went. Well, really, his hand was like 3 times as big,
Right.
and he went.
Ugh.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
it's crazy. But yeah, the fact that she knew where it
Front
happened
and back.
is utterly insane. Whoever was coming up with this plot,
Fucking
like just
moron.
it just could have been different rooms. It's so nuts.
I don't even know that there was a script when they went.
No, it might not. Actually, I would believe there wasn't. I wouldn't have a problem with that if that
I
was
mean,
true.
yeah, it is super low budget.
It's, yeah.
so
For
they
PM.
probably could only
4
rent
PM
one.
4
entertainment.
p.m. entertainment.
Because
it's
we've
low
watched a
budget.
few PM movies that like the budget was actually like, oh, that's not
Okay.
bad
They
looking.
blew up-
Okay.
that one where they blew up an entire
yeah,
gas station.
yeah,
that was
yeah.
insane,
We've
dude.
watched some stuff.
They blew up like almost an entire small
Yeah.
town. It was awesome.
Right. This one just seemed like 3 days of shooting in the city, and then we
Well,
blow
it
up
must
a
have been like the
Mexican
first or
village.
the
That's
second that they did.
Yeah, this is
So-
early. You said it was early, right?
Yeah, yeah. 89 was the first year that they were in business. So.
Okay.
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 Yeah,
So
yeah.
that
I mean,
explains
it's
this
rough.
movie pretty much to a T. This movie was about the artwork on the cover.
Right.
That's why the logo's so awesome. Right. Where are we?
We just flashed back to meeting the other
Sister's dead.
prostitute with the things. So the sister's dead, and it's
Shotgun
so now-
Jones' sister is dead. Yes.
And now we get a shot of him running up to the scene with Billings blocking the door,
Right.
and he's
Right.
like, "Where? What's going on?
it's like
I'm acting as hard as
it's
I
like-
possibly can, and it's not much."
look with the
Doesn't look
internal
good.
injuries and with the beating and the internal injuries. She just couldn't. What
He
are you
goes
trying to
because
say?
of the
What does that
drugs.
mean?
He goes because of the drugs and all the
Internal
internal
injuries.
injuries. Her body just gave up.
And she did not
so-
look like a crack.
That's right.
She wasn't on
Or-
drugs.
I love
what
that.
drugs was she
I love
on?
it. That's right. Blame it on her.
Yeah, like what the
She,
fuck?
you know, if she didn't do drugs, she might have lived
She
through
was a
this.
fucking drug addict, prostitute,
fucking
piece of
terrible.
shit. She might be alive. I don't know. This
It's so
movie's
awful.
fucked up. Yeah, it's weird. Why?
There's no.
Why?
Oh,
They
man.
didn't show her doing drugs.
No.
Did they inject her with something?
Yeah, drugs
Yeah.
did not come into play at all. He just added that in, like
What?
maybe he thought that it would seem less bad if he added in the drugs.
Maybe
He was wrong. Wrong,
Right.
sir. So,
That's
she's
when
dead.
he just flips.
That's when he walks around
starts
town.
crying.
oh my
Right.
God.
That's when we get the Jones walks around town staring at the world
just looking
and
at
thinking
shit.
about the 2 shots they have of his
It's like-
sister. They don't
Yeah,
have any other
flashback.
fucking.
It's just a shot of her kissing him on the head. From
And
the,
then standing in front of the bookcase. There's no other shot.
They don't.
Love
Yeah,
it.
they don't even use the shot from the club.
It's
No,
like it's
it's
like
just-
a movie where
Well,
like
that's a bad memory. The good,
Right,
only
right.
good
the only
memory
good memory is that one.
is her waking him up. They didn't even shoot anything. They could have shot them sitting
Yeah.
at a table talking.
it's like one step above those movies where like you see a memory of a person and it's clearly the headshot
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
or a still from the previous film.
Or like, what was the 9/11 musical we watched? This that guy, he's like dreaming about his wife, and it's the same picture in like 14 different pictures.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Like, give me a fucking break. You
Take
can't get
another
more than
one
one picture of
picture.
this person. Jesus.
So yeah, he's walking around town and it takes way too long. It's like
Right.
a 5.
And his melancholy
10
walk
minute-
around town is through the red area of town by the porno
Yeah, he's
theater.
like
and-
walking through porno theaters.
He
and
walks
stuff,
past
like,
the porno theater, the
Right.
Deep Throat 2,
Yeah.
Hot Guns or whatever.
So
it
they
was.
probably just shot
Wha-
all that on that street that
Yeah,
one
yeah.
night.
Mhm. Dude, this movie was filmed so fast. It had to have
Yeah.
been. Like,
one take. No, it was
incredibly
one
fast.
take, Jake. The whole
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
One take if you're lucky.
Yeah. Right. And so
He
then
does all his sad walking and then ends up at the bar with
My favorite
Fucking
scene.
Billings.
That's the best.
This scene's
Absolute
great.
favorite scene. I was
It's
laughing.
really good.
I was laughing like 3 scenes into like after this ended.
It was good.
It's so good. They're just staring in the
Into
darkness.
nothingness. Man, they are
And
dead.
they both take like in unison, take a shot, and
pour
slowly
over
put. They slowly put it down on the bar.
upside down. Yeah.
And they talk. What does he say?
Then that's when, dude.
He says something.
Billings says something, and then he responds with nothing.
Oh,
Like,
and it's a zoom in on his
so-
face.
Yeah, it just starts zooming in on him while he goes on this like tirade.
It's not your fault.
It's great.
He but it's like his Shakespeare moment, but it's terrible.
What the hell is he saying in that speech? I can't
even
that.
remember because what happens now because it
Laughing
zooms
so
in on his
hard.
face, then cuts back to the wide, and then it's like over by the door, 2 masked gunmen
Yeah.
who
Ski
have
mask
nothing
gunmen.
to do with anything
With shotguns.
Shotguns
They just
come
come
in to hold up the bar that they're in. So it doesn't cut. It's really important to talk about. It doesn't cut back to their faces when those
No.
guys come in.
No.
Those
It cuts
guys,
to the bartender grabbing a gun.
and they shoot him fucking dead.
just
Yeah.
blast him away.
His chest explodes. It's so good because it cuts back to the 2 of them, and they're just staring
Yeah,
like
just blank.
that.
They're still dead blank staring.
A
in
human just
front of
like
each other.
exploded in front of them.
He did nothing. They're cops. They've
Just shoot her
trained
They
Shut
haven't,
up.
even,
react.
they haven't even reacted with their guns or anything. They're
No.
just sitting there. It's so good.
And that's when they turn and go, police, and
And then
just
they
kill.
just-
They,
Yeah, like 36 bullets.
I think
They
Yeah.
unload on those guys and kill
Yeah.
them. But those guys weren't from the bad guy or anything. They're just people.
They just needed some people to die.
They-
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why.
It's so good. The fact that a man was killed right like 2 feet away from them.
Right.
They didn't do
And they
anything.
don't move.
Boom, boom. Wait till they get close.
Yeah.
It's like they're an ostrich with their head in the sand. Like, just don't move. It's a T-Rex. They won't see us. Okay.
So now we're back at the precinct, I think. They're getting reamed out.
By
for-
the right, because right.
He's
'Cause
like,
they
you
were
were
drunk.
drunk. And he's like, we got him. And he's like, yeah, you shot him 32 fucking times.
You could have gotten.
You could have hit a bystander or something, for Christ's sake.
No, it's like, thank God no innocent people died. Like the bartender. That's so good.
He definitely
And it's
died.
like this man was nothing to anybody.
Maybe he was a robot. I don't know. We don't know. Maybe all
It's like
bartenders are robots.
They were like
in
in
this
Disneyland.
movie.
He was an animatronic bartender. We just
I
like
don't
the
know.
country band.
Nobody seemed to give a shit. You're right. I don't know.
Thank God nobody was hurt.
Uh,
It's so good.
we gotta save the fuckers from being beaten. This is bartender shot. Whatever.
the bartender.
It's so good.
There's always another bartender.
Yeah, so when he reams them out.
Yeah, he yells at them and he's like, Internal Affairs is gonna fucking eat you alive, Jones. And he's like, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Yeah, they're short staffed, so he can't.
But he can't suspend you.
Right,
so
right.
Blah, blah, blah.
And he lets them go on their merry way.
There wasn't like a warning or something. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
he doesn't give
don't
him.
fuck up again.
There wasn't no talk of the case though, right? The main case,
No.
the sister case, right?
But I think they told him. He told him that he had a meeting with him. If it wasn't in this scene, it was the previous scenes. Just like he didn't want to give him that case, but he's
Right,
like,
right.
I need this, and that's like
Oh,
exactly
yeah.
when
I
you
need
don't
this.
give somebody the
Right,
fucking
right,
case.
right, yeah.
You're like,
All right, where are we? I'll lose it after the bartender. I was laughing
Right,
for like
right.
3 scenes.
I
And then
think it
when
was-
he said that, no, thank God no one got hurt.
I think
Yeah,
we go
he's
to,
nothing, man. He's trash.
Just
That guy.
Rocker getting caught because they go back to the club
Right.
again.
They go
Well, they
back to the
start
club.
looking for. Yeah, they have like. Do they know what he looks like at this point?
Who, Rocker? They've seen
Yes.
him.
Wait.
They've
When-
seen him twice.
They literally like talked to him. They've said words to this man.
I know, but they still don't really know who he is. Ish.
Well, is this when the lineup
Then-
happens?
We saw him take his sister. This is not
Yeah, but
when
they
the
have to. They
lineup-
arrest them.
This is
Otherwise,
when
they couldn't have.
How do
done
they
the
arrest
lineup.
them?
they
Though?
arrest
go
them,
back
they
to
go
the
back
club.
to the club.
They,
with
the mush mouth.
there's that
guy.
long.
Hey,
long-
baby. Yeah.
He looks so wonderful.
There's a long scene of Billings showing the picture to people on the dance floor while Jones just
he
like,
goes up to the old timey
meanders
bartender
about.
up on the top
And
floor.
then the bartender's like,
I don't know. I've
no.
never seen him.
Never
in my
seen
life.
man,
And
don't
then he
know.
comes walking down
I
from
ain't
like
seen nobody.
a third floor or something, and they see him. They're like, "We're gonna get him." Billings goes
He
over and goes,
pushes
"Hey,
somebody
I know
off
who
a
you
ledge.
are."
yeah.
He
It's all
punches Billings.
it's
in
all
the stomach.
silent, weird silence.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah.
clearly they lost sound on that. Day
Yeah, they lost
because
sound, 'cause the
there's
guy's-
like 30 seconds of like.
It's weird silence. Yeah. And then he pushes him off the railing, and they catch him. Right.
Right, he's at the other. Jones is at the other end with his gun.
Right.
He's, don't fucking move her. Or
Right.
Hole through you.
And
they
he
bring-
wants to shoot him, but he
doesn't.
He does not.
Don't they bring him in for the lineup then?
Then they bring him in for the lineup.
Okay, so then he's in a lineup, and they have the whipped, the
They
hooker,
have
the hook,
the first
The first
Ronda.
girl got beaten,
and then
Rhonda.
the whipped hook. Don't they have the whipped one?
I don't know
Sissy or
that they-
Missy
I
or
thought
Sherry
she
or-
was the one at the very
yes,
end.
the whipped.
Yeah,
whipped
yeah.
was
No,
at
no,
the
the
very
whipped
end.
lady was the furthest one in.
Yeah, from the camera.
And the one we
right.
saw get beat at the beginning of the movie was the closest.
Right,
And they
right.
both were
Looking
like,
And there was a third, like a black.
like nothing
woman.
had ever happened to them.
they
there
both
was
looked
like a-
fine, and they both were like, look,
Well, there was also a third woman in there that we hadn't seen before.
there was,
Who
but
I
they
guess-
all agreed that he's the guy who picked us up, but not the guy who beat us. And it was like, so
Okay,
he's
good.
still
that's-
completely complicit in this.
Yeah, right.
Especially since he's in all the cases he is involved. So you don't just let that guy
Okay.
go, right? There's probable cause
And they
there,
weren't-
right?
They weren't going
They
to let
weren't
him
going
go
to.
until.
Wow.
Yeah.
Then they go to interrogate him, and he's like, "Look, you can't prove
And that's-
shit." And they're like, "Dude, we have you at every single one of these scenes. We have people saying that you picked them up to take them to a room where a man beat them." And he goes, I don't really think that's."
And that's
anything."
when the chief and Rivington come in.
Right.
Yeah, and Rivington's like, "Here's his orders for
Yeah,
release."
right.
And you're like,
What?
But- "What is the what? That's it? Like they don't explain."
And up until this
laws
point, if I'm not
or
mistaken,
anything.
up until this point, as an audience, we don't know that he's also his lawyer, right? Or he's
they
a
know they-
lawyer.
No, we
Do
know.
we-
he's
do we-
a
do we know-
lawyer.
do we know he's a
You
lawyer?
know he's a lawyer.
Yeah,
I thought he
because
was
when
just
he's
a
in his
businessman
office- No,
guy,
he
yeah.
talks about being
A lawyer?
a lawyer
Okay.
in his office.
Okay. I just didn't remember that, I guess.
He just says something like, "I didn't spend all this time being a lawyer." It's seriously something stupid like that.
Okay,
He
okay.
just is like,
And,
"I'm a lawyer for a long time."
And other than his dumb mouth, you don't really. They never really explicitly say that it's him that's the killer. That's the.
we just
that's-
assume that it is.
Yeah, well,
His mouth is pretty obviously.
Yeah.
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 His Ted Cruz lips.
what? Yes, no, I guess not until.
Either way,
He's also the only British person.
he lawyers. Yeah, he is. He lawyers Rocker out of that station.
Yes,
Right.
And
Yeah.
they're like, "What the
The
fuck
fuck?
was that?"
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the chief is like, "This is it. This is the system." And they're
That's
all
when he
like,
chews him out, but
butthurt.
what he says, like, you better stay off the case, leave this alone. How dare, and like, because he hit him, right, and all that. Or he was like,
Yeah.
No, not yet. That doesn't happen yet.
that hasn't happened yet.
He takes them out of the room, and they're all butthurt about it. And then, because what you're talking about is like when he goes, "You know what? I'm going to go fucking talk to that lawyer." I think they're all like, this is when they get drunk.
That's when they get drunk at his
house.
Oh, they go to
house.
Billings'
Yes,
house
they-
where
he's
his
like-
wife,
They
is like,
continue to make sex jokes
With
about
his wife.
Jones and his wife.
Yep.
his wife is like, well, I was making meatloaf, but now I'm going to make steaks since
Right.
you're here,
And,
Yeah.
we're gonna,
and,
I'm
and
gonna
my
make
husband's
him
gonna cook
make
them, so we're gonna stay inside and fuck. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
She
that-
doesn't say that,
seriously.
but yeah. And then it cuts to the two of them being drunk on the couch.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And
And
they're-
Jones has like the most high pitched drunk voice I've ever.
Ever, yeah.
Oh, we're so drunk.
He's like,
And he
Mickey
sounds like
Mouse.
Mickey Mouse. He does.
Right. And that's when they decide they're gonna find the lawyer, right?
Think
They're gonna
so.
talk to the
I think
lawyer.
he says,
Jonesy
"I'm
says he's gonna
fucking
go
kill
talk
that
to the
guy." And
lawyer.
he's like, "Why don't you maybe just drink another beer?" And
Right.
he's like, "Okay, fine." Ha,
But
ha,
then the
ha."
next day, it's like they show the office door
Yeah, it's
And then
Rivington
we're-
coming in. And he
Ri-
stops walking
because Jones is. It's really
Joe's
awkward.
just
It's
standing right
like,
there.
how do you not see him? It's
Right.
just right there. And then he
It's a
punches him in the
shitty
stomach,
glass
right?
Yeah.
door.
He punches him in the stomach.
He threatens him, and he goes, "You don't want to threaten me. I'll ruin your whole fucking life." And he goes, "Fuck you."
Yeah, he
Punches him in the stomach,
Right.
and then he
And
ruins
walks
his
out.
own whole fucking life.
Yeah.
Right.
Should have listened, Jonesy.
Because then the chief pulls him in and says, if you ever touch him again,
Right.
you're done. And then, like, right as...
well, this is the greatest scene ever because...
Oh, that's when they're both looking at the wall.
Well, also, yeah, they're not looking at him at all.
They're not
but
looking at the
chief
chief, yeah.
The chief basically goes, so, yeah, everybody's corrupt, and they're yelling at all of them. It's just a big chain of shit that ends with you because I'm the person that's shitting on you.
Right.
And that's how the system works, and there's nothing to be done about it. It doesn't matter if we're cops. We just have to fall in line. But you're not suspended.
Right. Because
Like,
it'll piss him off.
Because it'll piss off the mayor.
For some reason, it's going to piss the mayor off.
And you're like, what the...
But right as they're walking out, he says, hey, Jones, off the record, if I was you, I would have done a lot worse to that guy.
Yeah.
So it's like, what?
So you've given up entirely.
You don't
That guy
care
just gave
at
up.
all,
He's just
yeah.
like, all right, fuck it, I do it
He
anyway.
may not be Aldo Ray, but he practices the Aldo
This is like,
Ray
I think this
way of
feels like
life.
when it was like almost an hour into the movie, and I checked to see the timer because I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
hey,
you're like, what the
is
fuck?
this ever going to turn into the movie that the trailer promised?
Right.
Which I assume was going to be he's going to be a vigilante shotgun killer, just starts killing criminals.
Nope.
That is not the movie that you would be getting if you watch this. It's not The
You will
Punisher.
be disappointed.
It's not Batman.
I mean, no matter what, you're renting this movie, you're going to be disappointed.
They're probably going to watch it free on Prime if they do.
Right.
So now
Yeah.
at this point, I think we get... They're like,
I mean,
we're going to
in the
get
80s.
serious
right.
about...
Oh, yes. Yeah.
This is when Jones is like, time to get serious about fucking cop shit.
Right.
Right,
They
and
go
then they
crack
do-
down on
they
the
do
homeless
the
man.
bus.
undercover
Yeah, they're like,
bus.
okay, back to normal work.
Yeah, they're like, all right, we're going to be cops.
So then it cuts to him in, like, he's next to a dumpster
The
underneath
most realistic costume of the entire movie, where he
God.
kind of look like a homeless person.
and he says like he has a walkie-talkie and he tells them they're getting close and he's like 3 feet away from a drug dealer or something.
Yeah, there's 3 people in the back of a car. No.
Right.
No, they're
this
just
is the
standing-
drug deal.
They're just standing near the dumpster.
Yeah, they're just standing in an
and he
alleyway.
gets up and he starts rifling through the dumpster and they're like looking at him and then there's
a bunch of cops just run
Billings
everywhere.
and there's Billings and another guy with a shotgun.
Yeah, just a rando.
There has to be someone else there because he's mentioned
There's
off
multiple
camera.
people.
Right, there is.
I thought there was like a bunch of people just like swarmed.
Because this is really
Maybe like
confusing.
5.
They beat the shit out of everyone, and then Jones has his gun in the main guy's mouth.
Right. And the main
Right?
guy's like, oh, aren't
no,
you that
that's-
guy?
Yeah, they're like arresting the guy who was trying to buy the drugs, and he goes, "Wait, are you that cop whose sister was a hooker?"
And he's
they're
like,
"Wait, why the
the
fuck
fuck
does
did
this
you
guy
know that? Yeah.
And Jones is like, "Fuck you, scumbag!"
Puts
and he
his
puts
gun
the
in his
gun in his
mouth.
mouth.
Gun in his
And
mouth.
Billings is like, "Dude, you can't do that." And he's like,
Like,
"I don't
stop,
give
what
a
would
shit."
stop?
I'm gonna shoot this.
I'm gonna cleanse this world of your filth. Yeah,
and
like,
then
just, yeah.
and the Billings is like, "Fine, shoot him, fucking shoot him. Who cares?"
But then you're just the same filth as him.
Then you're
yeah.
just gonna be like him or whatever. And then
They go back to the
doesn't.
station.
Sucker punches
Oh my
him with
God.
a
Sucker
pistol.
punches it, but they go back to the station and find out that guy is an undercover agent.
working
For the DA
for
or-
the internal affairs guy,
Yeah.
Sims.
Well, why would Internal Affairs
They
be doing
set him
drug
up
deals?
to punch.
Yeah, it's
To
a,
punch Jones? What?
No, to get Jones
get-
to punch him,
right.
so
He
they
could
could
have been
suspend him.
he could have
Dude,
He
been,
could have
I
been
know.
totally murdered
almost
by Jones.
was murdered by Jones.
So he's an internal affairs guy.
That is insane.
It's insane. It's beyond insane.
The LA police are not good.
They're not
in
even doing their
this
jobs.
movie.
They're just like
That guy's-
authoritarian, like summer camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all they are. They're not doing anything.
Like how that dude. It's just so corrupt there.
It's insanely
It's insane.
corrupt.
The-
It's
the
sick.
Lieutenant was like, everything's fucking corrupt, and then now you're like, okay, now the internal affairs actually just sets up actual cops that aren't dirty to fuck
Yeah, they
them
set
over.
up a drug deal that was fake and then had people on like government
that
money.
guy's been up his ass
Taxpayers were
since
paying for all
before
that.
the movie started.
Right.
Like, we don't know why that guy hates Jones so much.
Because he's too good at doing his job.
Taxpayers paid for all this. God damn it.
He's probably like, dude, he's got a hooker sister. He seems to go watch porno theater on the clock. Like, this guy sucks. Hey, guess he should have been investigated by
If
internal
I can't
affairs,
do it,
honestly.
he can't
I mean,
do it.
even internal affairs should be investigated by internal affairs. So that's when this is the
He
last
loses
straw.
his badge. Yeah.
He finally gets his badge taken away by the chief.
Right.
But isn't this when he goes off on the Sims guy?
Oh yeah,
No,
beats
but it's
the
before he actually turns in his badge. He beats the
shit out of Sims with a fucking police baton. Yeah, like he should be dead. Like,
Yeah.
fucked him
he
up.
hits him in the head a few times with a police
Yeah,
baton.
it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
So he doesn't have a badge anymore, and then he what they say in the next scene, like Sims spent like what a week
in the
a
hospital.
week in the
Right.
hospital. That's like not
That's not bad for what he did to him.
Jesus Christ.
So then he turns in his badge.
I can't believe the movie right here should be the big like turn.
Now I'm
Right.
just gonna start
And it's
blowing
like
people
the
away.
lamest fucking thing happens next is when he
Right.
gets a job.
He just decides to be a bounty
He's
hunter.
like, I'm gonna give up on the search for my sister's killer
Entirely.
and become a skip
Gonna-
tracer bounty
I'm gonna make some money.
Yeah. It's like,
It's-
what?
yeah.
What are we doing here? Why are we
He got
watching
crushed.
this?
His soul was crushed by all the corruption. He was just like, I'm done with this. It's over. I can't win.
God damn it! And he starts
He's-
working for that woman. She doesn't really
Yeah, he
matter.
Like
meets
the
this
worst
woman.
flirting.
Yeah.
in the
It doesn't
history of
matter. It's like
flirting.
Really
irrelevant. His repertoire with her doesn't matter.
How about
I
take you
love
out
how
for
many
dinner
times
tonight?
she said 10%.
10%.
10%.
Because there's that one scene that she says how much it is, and then there's a scene starts with her answering her phone going, 10%, that's right. I was
Right.
like, what does she keep
All right,
saying?
10%.
All right, 10%. And then he's like, 10% again? She's like, yes. 10%.
What do you
For
think?
the love of
Oh,
God! We know how much money he gets paid. It's good.
So that eventually leads him. Well, one, there's a
It takes
quick
way
scene.
too long.
yeah,
of him
there's a
doing
quick
it.
Shows
scene at the
him-
police station where the guy, his friend's been promoted, and he's not happy with the fact that he's a bounty hunter.
Right.
Sims comes in and is like dickish, which is really dumb of Sims
because he just got his
He
ass
knows.
handed to
Yeah,
him.
He's
he
got his
talks
ass.
shit like he didn't get
We do
put
also
in the
learn there's
hospital.
right.
It doesn't make any sense.
there's also a time discrepancy here where the one person said it was 6 months of that.
He was like, you're suspended for 6 months. And he's like, well, then I'll be a bounty hunter while I'm not a cop.
Right.
But so it's somewhere between
A day,
A
and
day
6
and
months.
6 months.
In 6 months.
Like clearly, like they kind of established that he's making money. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
It
he's
shows him
he's
arrest a
living
few
off being a
people.
bounty hunter, and we're
Dude,
watching
as far
him do
as
it.
the movie's pacing could tell, he walked into that office, was like, I want to be a bounty hunter for you. And she goes, all right, here's a
And he
here's a
went and
job.
he did it.
Went,
Got a
found them,
bounty.
brought them to the place, and then was like, all right, what's next? Because she was wearing the same fucking outfit, and I think he was wearing the same fucking
Yes.
outfit.
Oh, I'm sure.
And then that's when
He's
the
just
bounty
like-
for what's his name, Rocker, came in, right?
Well, we see the one where he shoots that guy in the ass.
Yeah.
He like
Right,
buck
he shoots a
shot.
guy in the ass.
He's bounty hunting this one guy, and he shoots him right in the ass. And
We're
the guy
watching him do his
remarks.
job.
And he's like, "You shot me."
It's in the
So
trailer.
good.
It's in the
Yeah.
trailer.
It's great.
Yeah.
So this is when he is shotgunning people now.
But like for a job, it's
Right,
not like he's
right.
like Shotgun
He's just using
Jones, the
buckshot.
vigilante superhero going
Yeah,
around
But they do
killing
mention
people.
when he's
True.
in the precinct that like your
He's like,
name,
you know, they have a
they
name
know
for
you on the streets.
Yeah, yeah.
Call you Shotgun
And
Jones.
Jones.
He's
Right.
like- and then he goes, "It's better than what they called me when I was a cop."
Right.
And which is
asshole.
Yeah. What? Weird.
Internal Affairs Jones. yeah.
Dude, people in the street should love him. He was arresting nobody.
You know, he was like,
As long as you didn't kill his sister, dude, he wouldn't have done shit.
he was like a criminal's best friend.
Sure.
It's weird.
It's completely.
Wonder why we never got promoted before. Oh, we weren't arresting.
But
anybody.
it comes. She like says that there's a warrant out for Rocker,
Rocker.
right? I forget the reason he
Yeah,
had a
they're
warrant.
like,
Don't make it
Rocker skipped
personal.
his bail, and you're like, what?
And he's like, I want it. He's like, don't make it personal.
How long has it
Of
been?
course,
Shouldn't
he's
have-
gonna make it personal.
What does that mean?
Don't make it personal.
No. They say he skipped out on his bail. Why wouldn't?
But
the
how
lawyer
long-
have
but
paid
Why
it?
would he even be on bail
Wha-
when his lawyer acquitted him? When he
Yeah,
was in his-
I don't
the-
know.
Of the crime.
And how long was it that he was not out on bail, too?
right.
Like, are we
Yeah, like,
looking at
how
the
long
next
has it
day,
been?
or like, did they have to get the money together to get him
So
out?
weird.
It doesn't make sense how long it was. Yeah,
Because as far as Jones seemed to be concerned, he got away with it.
right. And he,
So
and
what
Jo-
was he? What?
yeah,
Was,
and
what?
Jones was just like living his life past that now. He was just like,
Yeah.
I'm over
Whoever
this.
wrote this doesn't understand how the
Grief.
criminal justice
There
system works
are a
at
lot
all.
of
Yeah, no.
scenes in this movie where like people will talk and you're not quite sure that they understand what the words meant when they're writing them down. In
It's
the
one
script.
take,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
wide shot, go.
Don't think about it.
It's fine. It's Ed
Wood.
Wood. Just that was good. That's fine. Next, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
That was fine.
Moving on. Moving on.
Moving on quick.
Mm.
Go.
Speaking of moving on,
Right.
so they get the skip trace on Rocker,
right.
and
He's like, I'm gonna find his ass. And
yeah.
he goes to very smartly goes
It
directly to
is.
that hotel.
Finally,
Yeah.
Like,
it only took changing jobs.
Right?
Like he didn't do it as a cop.
He's a
well,
great-
not willing to
he's a
do it
great
as
bounty
a
Yeah,
human.
he's a
hunter.
really good bounty hunter. Terrible cop.
Why won't he just be a vigilante?
That's what I'm
Like
saying.
as soon as
Yes.
he has to do it
Right.
for work, he's like, well, thank God.
Fucking
Now I can.
Christ, no way. Well, wait. So
I just don't get it.
the reason there was a bounty out on Rocker is because he killed the kitty porn guy.
right.
He shot the
right.
kitty porn guy in the head. That's why there
Nope,
was
That's after this.
what?
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's after.
Fuck me, I
I'm
don't
not
fucking
even
know.
kidding. That is after.
I'm sorry,
this.
I'm rewriting the movie to be better and make sense. You're right. Okay.
Because there's a scene before. I don't know if it happens before. I think it's before they go. Before he goes to the hotel, you see Rocker in the hotel with a gun, and he gets a call from Rivington, and Rivington's like, "Get the fuck out of the city and
Right.
go to
What
the
are you
little,
still
go to the
doing in the
village.
go
hotel?
to the village and just hang out there." But he, for some reason, he doesn't.
He
Because
goes and kills.
even after this, he doesn't.
He goes
I mean,
to-
that's the most disturbing scene in the movie, considering you know that every single horrible thing has happened in that hotel room. That the first place Rocker goes is
it's
to,
the
like,
hotel room.
lounge on that bed on those
I
sheets
gotta
that must be
relax.
covered in everything.
Oh yeah, he deserves it just as much as Rivington.
Right, right,
Yeah,
right.
he deserves what he gets. So where are we again?
Dude, I don't know.
Rocker's on the run.
And then, oh wait,
So he goes to the
Billings
hotel.
gets injured when he goes to Billings. Remember, Billings gets injured.
I don't
Not
think he gets
yet.
injured. He gets killed.
Not
right?
yet. No, he's okay.
He's okay.
He's
He's
alive
okay.
at the end.
All
Bi-
right.
Yeah, Billings is
Hold
alive.
on. I think this. He goes to the hotel and he's like, "Where's the fucking guy that keeps bringing all the women here?" And the guy behind the counter is like, "Look, that's none of my business." But then he walks in because he's still living there.
You're right.
And they see each other and they get into this is the insanely long foot chase.
Right.
Oh my god, it lasts
Unbelievably
forever.
long foot chase.
and it's so
that
boring.
then turns into a car chase ish. Because eventually
Because now he drives a Pontiac.
yeah, eventually Rocker gets in a car and runs over the woman he stole it from.
Yeah, right.
Then flings Jones off the car
Mhm.
and gets away, and he's like, ha 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 ha, and Jones is like, fuck.
What?
Shit.
Walks back.
Oh,
gets
it's
a
been an
shotgun.
hour. We can do this.
Yeah,
we're close.
I
We're
mean,
close.
We're close.
what happens next? He's all pissed off. He gets away. I think he's at his house. He gets the call from Rivington that's like,
Well, I think
No, someone calls
after
him-
Rocker runs away, Rocker goes and does the hit on the other cop friend,
The Billings?
Billings.
no, he doesn't do that. I don't think that was him that did that because it says something happens where it's like Jones gets a
Jones.
call from someone that's just like, you're in danger or you're gonna fucking die or something, and then he goes to Billings and is like, I think I'm in danger, but then Billings gets shot and you're like,
Right.
Oh,
why?
right.
What?
And he's
It
gonna
didn't make any sense that Billings was the one
because
that,
they wanted Billings out of the end of the movie. It's just
Right,
like
right.
taking him out
And
of that.
important note that
this fucking
Shooter Jones finds a matchbook that has the name of the village.
The village. And
Oh,
that's
yeah.
that's when he gets hooked. He finds his friend, right?
Now's when he goes.
His new
'cause
friend.
We're going into the ending here. Don't
Good
worry.
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
But I do want to point out, I forgot when they have that long ass foot chase. He gets drugged by a car. He is so far away from that hotel.
Yeah.
He walks all the way back to the hotel. His shotgun is just still
Just sitting there.
Sitting
in
there.
The lobby
None of
the
these
hotel.
like horrible people would have
all the
At
or any
all.
of these
Out at all.
criminals that are selling
Just a
drugs
shotgun,
and fucking
just
prostitutes
lying
in all
around.
these rooms.
But he pulls that guy over, right? And then he like holds the gun up to his head. Remember, the new guy, the new friend.
Not yet. What?
I'm just going to that. That's why. I was
Let's just go to that.
Okay,
Because that's
because-
really where the
All
movie's
right.
going.
Because we got such a mess right before it.
Yeah.
Billy's in the hospital.
Shotgun Jones.
Yeah,
It's
it's-
like-
Shotgun's
I gotta-
gonna take care of business.
right. Yes. And so
And somewhere in there, he kills the porno theater guy. Though, when does that happen?
I thought it happened. Oh,
We already
my-
did that.
We
already
did that.
talked
I
about
guess
that.
it did. Okay. All right.
So I forget why he hooks up with this new guy, but he holds a gun. He's holding a gun to his head
I mean, as a joke.
as a
I
joke.
think.
But I don't know what like the initiating
Well,
factor
no,
was.
he pulls up and
They don't establish it, but I'm guessing they were like army buddies or something.
They're army
like
buddies or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
the new guy is holding a gun to his head.
He's like
And then he
sissies.
closes
yeah.
door and reveals that he's holding his shotgun to his crotch.
Right.
Right.
And then they like hug each other.
They're like, yeah.
And he's
And so
"What's
he
the
tells
deal?"
him, look, I'm going to Mexico to
to fucking
Get the
kill
guy
a guy
killed-
who's in a fortress,
And I need a tank.
I need a
a
tank.
vehicle to get in there.
So they go to his T2 compound
Right.
to build a tank.
And they build like a Death Race
Montage.
2000 type car.
Entire car, right? Which is like at this point, like what movie is
Right,
this?
right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
It's
like
like, what movie is this?
This last reel of the movie is very much like a classic PM
Entertainment
movie.
Oh
movie.
yeah. It's
yeah.
what we wanted.
Right,
this is
right,
what
right.
This
we
is what
finally,
the trailer was.
finally.
Yeah.
So they finish the car. It's awesome looking. And then the guy's like, "Look, take me with you." He's like, "It's not your fight. Take me with you. You
Right.
run the gun.
He's like,
I run
You're
the car."
gonna have a lot of fun. You're just gonna kill people in Mexico, right? And
Right.
I-
I'm so down with that.
and I know where the
And I'm
village
just some
is,
lunatic
so-
that lives in the desert and makes tanks. So
right?
like,
Yes. Come on.
Right.
Let me.
So
blow
then
up
what
some
we
people.
get is like a way too long sequence of that car driving to the
Yes.
Mexican border.
Right, right.
God, it
They
takes
just want to
so
show off the
long.
look of the car. Yeah,
It takes
yeah.
so long.
But they get there and they fuck shit up. They've got a grenade launcher on the car. They're just using it instead of using
Wait.
guns. They're just grenade
it
launching
doesn't matter.
people.
Rocker's like there. He's kissing
I
Rocker
women.
is
forgot all
there.
the stuff we remembered is that they tried to offer him his job back as a cop, and he was like, "I'll think about it. I don't fucking." know
And he
about
decided to
that."
Right,
do this
right,
instead.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So yeah, he pretty much he raids the fortress. He kills everyone.
Right.
They
Like,
start blowing people up. You have no idea what's going on.
We don't
And
even
they-
know if they're like bad people, really.
no,
they're
he's just
villagers.
killing
It's
everybody.
yeah, it's
It's
in
a
the
village. It doesn't mean they're all evil, but
But people on fire running at a building.
And like
So I don't
they
know.
almost immediately, as soon as they get out, because a woman throws a grenade at the car,
Yeah, it
and they
goes
get
under
out of the car. And as soon as they're on foot, the friend almost immediately gets killed and is never acknowledged or mentioned.
oh, it's like
again.
Oh
nothing
yeah,
happened.
they.
For the
I,
rest of the-
It's
compare-
like just
I mean, you knew
gone.
he was gonna die because
Yeah,
he's
but it's
coming along.
gone.
I didn't realize he died. I was like, I guess
Right.
that was him getting killed.
Yeah.
I think
It happened
Rocker
so
killed him.
fast.
Rocker killed him.
Yeah.
And then he goes
Oh,
inside.
runs.
He goes inside. That's when he
He
confronts
runs
Rocker.
into some kind of like barn, and they're both in this barn and talking to each other.
And Rocker's like, "Oh, I'll give you everything. You know,
I can
just
tell
let
you
me
who
walk."
actually killed you, dude. This makes
so
Right.
so
God, yeah,
dumb.
this makes sense.
It's so dumb.
He's like, I'll tell you everything. Like, just let me walk away free. And then
He's
somehow
like, "Maybe."
he's right behind him with his shotgun.
gun, and he
But then he
I couldn't tell exactly
question
what,
mark,
what happened
huge
there.
question mark. here.
Blood
I think-
sprays on
I-
Jones's face.
Right.
There's
I
a
think,
gunshot.
I think the implication is that the lawyer shot him
that Rivington shot.
before he could tell the truth.
Right.
But
Which
then
makes no-
Rivington.
but then he just stands
Rivington
outside
is
screaming at Jones.
But no, wait, hold on. Rivington is standing outside
This last
in front of the
speech.
building,
Oh my God.
away with his back to the
like
building,
so far away.
away,
But
yelling
somehow
into
just
the
shot
woods.
that guy in the dark.
Right, and he's yelling into
That was
the
a
woods.
foot from him.
Yeah.
I swear to
So then
God.
Shotgun Jones walks out into the. I hate calling him Shotgun Jones. He walks out to the front holding a shotgun to Rivington. Rivington turns around and is like, he tells him all the legalities of why he'll get out of anything and be completely free.
Right.
And it's like, dude, he just murdered everyone.
village.
Why would he stop at the guy that killed his sister?
I see all the buildings on
I'd beat
fire.
your sister to death, bitch, and I'm
Right.
gonna lawyer my way out of this situation. We're in Mexico.
Right.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong happens
I-
in Mexico.
Wouldn't the point of shooting him before he told you who he was in the dark when no one could see who you were would be to not stand in the middle of the street and then just start going, I did all this terrible shit. It makes
I am Lord
no
Lawyer
sense.
Rivington. I am above the law, and we are in Mexico.
And it's very much like that, lively, and pretty much the answer is no, you're not. Bam.
Yeah. Shotgun Jones does it again.
blast him away in the gut.
It's like whatever. That was it.
Dude, good lord.
Good. They didn't even make it challenging for him.
No, not at all.
I mean, Rivington didn't even like question
The
that he
amount
might
of
get
times-
shot with a shotgun by Shotgun
Cocky.
Jones. That's his fucking reputation.
That's his street name.
I do love how the entire movie, Shotgun Jones kept. They'd be like, he's like as big as me. He's as big. Like I figured they were gonna fight, man. Like at some point they were gonna have a
Right.
fight.
Oh yeah. Like there's like a couple.
You mean like
of-
every 80s
Oh
movie?
yeah, that
where
guy
the
was
main...
built. He looked like he pumped.
Oh yeah, he looked like he pumped iron all day.
Yeah,
It's
like
he
you
shot him
think
with a
you think at
shotgun.
some point we'd see like he has the whip and he has the shotgun and then they go at it.
Something a fucking
But
punch
nothing.
thrown.
Like the
in.
end of-
Nothing is what
You mean a
get.
battle like the end of Lethal Weapon, which this movie's like a obvious ripoff
yeah.
of? Yeah,
Yeah.
like nope,
No man.
bam, done.
So
Well, they do go
stupid.
back
They do go back and,
to the station. He's got his job back.
Billings is alive.
Right. Billings is.
No, I don't
alive,
think
yeah.
he is a cop again.
I think he is a cop at the end.
No, I think he's just visiting him. He's
Maybe.
dressed like an asshole again.
I
I
think
mean,
because
he's always an
Billings
asshole.
is a lieutenant now.
Right.
He says his wife, "You're a lieutenant."
Oh no, he does
Yeah.
have his job back.
Because he
You're right,
says
I'm
something
sorry.
along the lines of "Don't mess up again," you know.
Yeah, if Sims
Don't
walks
mess-
And
by,
they're like, "Oh, we let everything, kind of
Don't
slip
kill
in."
an entire
and-
Mexican village with
It's
a
pretty
tank
much-
you
it's
built with
pretty
a
much what
criminal
he
living in
says.
debt.
hey, don't
He's
suspend
just
me,
like-
then. That's what I do when you suspend me. I blow up fucking Mexican town.
They're like,
Full of
the feds are
criminals.
looking, are kind of looking over this because you killed so many drug lords.
Right. God in heaven. Then it ends.
That's a freeze frame and it's over.
It's
Yeah.
them giving Sims the finger.
Right.
Where Sims like,
The
I'm
Eternal
watching
Affairs
you,
guy.
and
End of
then both
episode.
them give
They
him
give
the
a backwards finger, and then it's the end of the first episode of Shotgun the series.
Jesus Christ.
It kind of should have been a TV show.
yeah.
It
yeah.
is a mess to try to remember what the fuck was going on in the middle of that movie. It's so boring.
I love
They're
how
not doing
nonchalant
anything.
they are
All the
about-
dialogue is so stilted and wooden.
You know, we really think about how much he didn't care about his tank friend getting killed. It's
No,
funny as
It's
shit.
great. Yeah,
Care
they're
at
Give
all.
a
man.
shit.
You're just a bartender to me, motherfucker.
The end
You're
of that,
lower than a bartender.
Lower than a bartender.
Just push you in a fucking liquefying machine. I don't
it
care.
just ramped up, like nothing was going on, and then like figure stuff out. It's over.
Right.
Like, whoa, Jesus! It like really was nothing.
I know,
for a
and
long
Rivington
time.
his plan is so bad. It's like what kind? Rivington is an insane character.
Dude,
He's like
nuts.
he's fucking nuts. He's taking over a Mexican village, and he has a fetish.
Right.
What was he
Because at the end,
doing?
he's
Like
just
his life is insane.
He's like a cop. He's a
Who's like
lawyer
a
in
full-time, the greatest lawyer in LA.
That's his hobby.
Yeah, that's his hobby is being a lawyer, and he's the best. And he also has a Mexican drug village and a picket for killing hookers by beating them to death.
Yeah.
in the
Like-
same room. He doesn't
Ted
own
Cruz,
it.
ladies
Yeah,
and
He has a
gentlemen.
fucking village.
Yeah, like why
He
weren't they driving them to? Oh my god! Yes,
the amount of people he could beat to death in Mexico without a problem now that he owns a village. What the fuck is he still doing in America? Like seriously,
so right.
For Christ's sake, man! I'm just saying. I don't know. It wasn't
You're
worth
so
it.
right. Why he has a whole village?
There's no challenge.
Like anyone in Mexico would be even questioning what was happening. You
God.
could get Rocker to go down there and just shove people in a van.
No
Like,
pretense.
it's not funny. It's awful. It's
I
not
know,
funny
but
at
it
all.
would've
But,
been so
but
much
like, as
easier,
a
really,
plan for an evil
logistically.
person, it's like, why were you doing it like this?
Everything had to be the hardest way possible. in the
Yeah.
whole movie.
Oh my god, that's disgusting.
Because
and
like
hilarious.
you guys are saying, like
Hold on.
during it,
Oh my
it's just
God.
like instead of building supercar, just build a bomb.
Well,
blow
that's
up
why I
the
said,
whole
like,
village.
whenever there's a
Oh,
movie
yeah.
with a siege on something and they don't care if everyone dies, I'm always like, why are you doing it like this?
Right.
You're not rescuing
I know it's a terrible
someone.
example, but I always think of X-Men: The Last Stand, where I was like, but he doesn't care if anyone lives in there. So why doesn't the Magneto just go,
Just
and
throw
crush
the
the whole
bridge.
prison and kill everybody?
All you
Right.
could just drop that bridge on the
Yeah,
whole
I was like,
building
why
and
does
be
he
done.
care? He wants everyone to die. Why is this a siege? It
We're
should
not
just-
talking about X-Men 3. The movie
No.
sucks, but we're not talking about it.
But it's the same thing here.
Yeah.
They couldn't have built something that would just explode that whole building.
Or just
Of course they
napalm,
could.
rain napalm,
Anything.
down on them from a
If
helicopter.
they could build supercar, they could have built.
They could have built
bomb.
a bomb. That could have just been like, done. And then he just fights Rivington hand to hand, and the movie's over.
Right. In fire.
gotta
Yeah, in
shoot-
front of big
Now,
fire.
I will say during the siege there were more burns than I've seen in almost because they have a flamethrower on
They
the front
do.
of supercar.
Oh, yeah.
It
At
shoots about
least
a lot
3
of people on
people get flamethrowered, and that
The
was
flamethrower
pretty
does
awesome.
shoot like a foot though,
It's
and then it's
barely
but
shooting
They
out.
cut
Then
it in a way that it's like people 25 feet away.
Right,
get it.
right.
That one where it's like a car and a guy are on fire.
No,
and you're like,
no.
dude, it's like spitting
It-
the
Well,
smoke.
no, the guy's on fire, and then the car runs into him and
Oh
explodes.
fuck yeah!
That was
is
pretty
great.
funny.
That was good. That
It's
was
good
the
stunt.
best.
That's-
the only
That's your
explosion
PM
in the
Entertainment
movie, really.
seal of approval.
Would you guys recommend people watch this?
It's
I
fun.
thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty fun. Yeah, I think
It's pretty funny. It's ridiculous.
If you're
It's
into
not
if
a-
you're into PM movies, definitely
the
don't. Yeah.
DJ, the DJ is goddamn hysterical.
It's-
The bar scene is a fucking.
oh yeah, the
is
bartender
m-
kill is the
yeah,
best thing
amazing.
ever.
The porno shop is pretty funny.
The
The
porno
horror
shop's
shop was
good.
pretty good. There's a couple scenes that are very funny.
Yeah,
But it also is like a mess.
I mean,
It's
if
a
you're
mess.
if you're a connoisseur of PM Entertainment, it's kind of neat to like.
and
'cause
shot
it's
on
got-
video too. I would say.
It's got. I
God,
still
yeah.
say I think it was shot on short ends and just cut on video.
Okay, well, if you
because-
like that aesthetic,
right.
it does look like that.
Because I mean, you just like it. Just to
It's like a
note-
news camera. It looks
you
like a
see-
news camera.
It looks like a
It's
news
so
camera, but you
bad.
see little film
Bits.
errors.
Yeah,
in
you're
it.
right.
So it's like
I
they
know.
either transferred the video to film at some point, which
I think
is
that's
even
what happened.
worse.
I think no, I honestly think that's what
Yeah.
happened. Is they transferred video to film.
It's quite.
It looked like
Anything
British
is
television.
possible.
It
Yeah,
looked
it
like
really
British,
did.
like Faulty Towers cameras were used
Right.
to shoot shotgun or something.
Right.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
But
All
yeah,
right, well,
I would recommend it. I guess.
right,
I mean,
yeah.
it's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
It wasn't too
It
long.
won't
ago.
cost
It was
you
like an
nothing.
hour and 26 minutes or something.
it's on Amazon Prime, just like Sean's movie,
Oh
Oh, that's right. It is
What's
Corpus Christi. No, I can't kill it.
Count Killer. I was gonna let you do a plug without
I
saying
did-
plugs.
I did both of them. Fuck you.
Yeah, they're both on there, right?
They are both.
Okay, there you go. That's the plugs.
Did
All
you
right.
put the Soda Milk movie one?
You
No,
can't.
it's
put
got
the
an actual
soda.
movie in it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I can't do that.
Damn.
All my stuff tends to have copyright problems. I've realized that. You know, that's something I got to fix. Anyway, thanks, Sean.
Yeah.
I'm glad we watched
Thanks as
something you
always.
hadn't seen.
Yeah, it was fun.
Usually Sean is like already up on whatever we're watching, so
I just
This was
picked-
better than Executioner 2, right?
It-
It's
I think you were-
absolutely better than
not that you
Executioner
needed
Part 2.
redemption, but if you did, this was a redemption.
Right.
I liked Executioner too, so whatever. I didn't see a problem with it. It's not
next-
good.
No, it's terrible, but
Ne-
it was fun.
Next time I'm back, we're watching a part 2, whether it's Highlander or Crow or whatever, and we'll.
Oh
see
yeah,
how
he
it
also
goes.
suggested Crow.
I did.
too.
I
I
was gonna say
feel like I'm
because-
gonna like that one.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
I think Matt will really like it because it's an
It's
S and
just
M
you are
video.
gonna like
pretty-
it, but it's terrible. It's just-
It's terrible, but in the way that we want.
You've got a Frenchman who's like saying words, but like he doesn't know what the English language.
It's so
is supposed
beautifully
to sound
shot,
like.
though. It's like a.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
It's the
'cause-
best music video.
Oh yeah, I remember liking it when I saw it originally. Just not. I probably was just like.
Same with
this is so
Highlander
cool.
too. It's beautiful.
Oh yeah,
It's
it's really
like
well
what
shot.
makes the fucking. All right, that's
All right,
it.
Nonsense.
Bye.
You've just listened to Bonus Disc, available only on Thundergrunt. Questions, complaints, and movie suggestions can be posted to facebook.com/bonusdisc. Opinions and criticisms of the hosts of Bonus Disc are 100% valid, even though they took the time to watch the movies you were too ignorant to appreciate.